What's up, guys? Back here, Archeage Unchained, and let's talk about the market and the economy and how everything is kind of shaking out here. You always got to go back to basics, though, so I want to bring up a big point, is that a lot of the servers are starting to see Onyx Archeum Essence anywhere between 3 and 4 gold each. So that's a massive moneymaker that you can do just by simply doing your family dailies. So you get 20 of those from your family daily quest by buying the cargo, taking it over with the safe ship. And yeah, so for 31 gold, so 26 for the cargo, 5 gold for the captain's protection. It costs 31 gold. And if your server is seeing, 3 gold on these things, that means it's 60 gold, and you've made a nice profit of 29 gold there. Plus, you get 1,500 vocation badges. For those that may not know about this, you need to be in a family. So you got to join up with people or add your alts and stuff. And then you're going to go and do Shift V to open up the family quests. And you'll have these 3 quests here. And then at the very bottom is the cargo delivery quest. So this is what I was talking about. You get 20 Archeum essences, 1,500 vocation badges. Do that daily. And yeah, you can make a ton of money. If these things are up to 4 gold on your server, that's a massive amount of profit for very little effort and time required to do that, completely safe. So another thing I want to touch upon the economy is that certain items now are starting to have limited stocks, and these people that are smart enough to figure out what items are in demand are actually making a killing on some of these things. So let's talk about Alchemist. Alchemist, a lot of people think that alchemy is not really a good profession. It's not worthwhile in Archeage Unchained. And I totally disagree. Alchemy is a really, really strong profession. It just, you don't make money on potions. You don't. You never have in Archeage. Archeage selling potions is not the way to do it. But you're going to make money on like pigments and oils. So let's go into pigment. So like here, the small root pigments, these guys are costing $14.65 on the current auction house here. And then the small leaf pigments are costing approximately 70 gold on the server here. Soft stem is up to around 80. Scented pigment is 200. So we're just going to touch on these ones, but pretty much all of the alchemy potions are really, really in demand. The sturdy one also. So the Opa. This Opa polish is also heavily in demand and can get you a lot of profit. It averages sells about 14 gold each. And the reason this one is in heavy demand, we'll touch upon the other pigments in a second, is because you need that for the sturdy ingots, and then the sturdy ingots are needed for crafting tier 3 gems. So you're using tons and tons of these when you're crafting the Luna gems. And a lot of people right now are currently working on tier 3 gems and upgrading their gear. So 10 for the tier 2 and then 30 for the tier 3. And that also brings us to the Superior Glow Lunarite. Superior Glow Lunarite is seeing a increase in value. Nothing crazy yet, but it should be going up. These things should be worth probably around 10 gold each, maybe a little bit more in the future. But let's go back to pigments and show you how to make these pigments. So it's quite simple to make the pigments. Again, these are basic things, but you always got to be checking these things. So we started off talking about the small root pigment. 3 Onyx Archeum Essence. So depending on your server, like I said, if these things are really high, this is pushing up the pigment prices. But that's the main component of this. Everything else is clover rose times 20. And those, even if they're around 5 silver each, that's still only 1 gold. 1 gold, 1 gold. So that's 2 gold. And then whatever the onyx is. If it's at 3 gold, that means this cost 11 gold to craft, and if you can sell it for 14, that's a really good profit. If the onyx cost 4 gold, that means this costs 14 gold to craft, and this would definitely need to be selling more than 14 gold, otherwise it's not worth it. Basic stuff like that. You have to figure out the mat cost and how much things are selling for. The big one, though, is the small leaf pigment. This one was up for around 70 gold. And it doesn't take that much. It takes one of the small root pigments. So we'll say approximately 15 gold. It takes 5 onyx archeum essences. So that is approximately, we'll say, another 15 gold there at 3 gold each. That's 30 gold. And then you have cornflower and lily. 30 each of these. Roughly around 20 silver each, probably on most servers. So that comes out to 6 gold, 6 gold. So you're at 36 gold. And now green coral. Green coral is the choke point, at least on my server here. There's no green coral on the auction house. So this stuff is incredibly valuable. And with this selling for around 70 gold, you could easily sell probably green coral for about 1 gold each. So you have to find these things that are missing. It could be any of these. On your server, depending on the supply and the demand, if there's too many people crafting green coral and putting it on the auction house, maybe lily is really expensive on your server. Or maybe there's no cornflowers really listed on your server, and cornflower is expensive. You have to really look at all these components and see which one is kind of like lacking. Someone is not producing these, and then produce those, and you can make a ton of money. So specifically on the Jurgen server, you could probably make a ton of money selling green coral. You could also make a ton of money by crafting and selling the small leaf pigments. The small root pigments are a decent profit right now. And then going up to the soft stem. Soft stem is actually not selling for enough money to really justify making it, because it's only selling for around 80 or so. And it requires a small leaf, plus then all these other mats. So if you are in the market to actually make or buy these things, you should just buy them off the auction house. Even if you pay like 110, it's probably not worthwhile to craft these things. So let's say here, so this one is approximately 70 gold. Now we have 9 onyx archeum essences times 3. We'll go at the 3 gold value that we've been using. That means that is 97 gold just for these 2 components right here. Cactus times 40, mint times 40. So cactus, let's take a look. And is there really no cactus on the auction house? So surprisingly, there's no cactus on the auction house, and this is where I come into saying you have to check your servers. Cactus, with it not being on the auction house, you can list it for 1 gold, 2 gold, and it might actually sell because there's no one selling cactus right now. Cactus is also used for other things in game as well. So if someone is starting a new character and, getting their character through the story quest, they're going to need 5 cactus. Like, this is going to be a great moneymaker. Cactus should be listed. You can list it for probably 1 or 2 gold, and you can make a ton of money off of that. Let's take a look at mint. So mint is very, very cheap, 20 silver comparatively there. And the reason is because there's a decent supply. There's, 500 mint on the auction house. So 40 mint times 20, that's going to be 8 gold. And then we have pearl. 50 silver approximately each. We need 20 of those, that's 10 gold. So 8 there, that brings us to 105. That's 10 more gold, that's 115. Plus, we haven't even factored in the cactus cost. It's way better to buy the soft stem pigment, even if it costs you 110 gold on the auction house, because of all the costs that would actually cost you to make. We didn't even look at pepper, but pepper should be pretty cheap. But you always need to look at all the components. So pepper is nothing, but very easy to actually just buy up and then kind of try to manipulate the economy here. That's one of the best things about a single server economy, is that you can actually buy these and then relist them for a gold, and they might sell. There's fewer people that are selling items, and it allows specialty sellers to get more value out of their items. When there's more players, the prices all go down because there's more competition, and it's better for the buyer. When there's less players in the auction house cluster, it's way better for the sellers. You may not sell as many as quick, but the price that you get for the item is going to be a lot higher. So we're going to go ahead and just relist those peppers for like $1, a gold, and see what happens. I have a good feeling that it actually will probably sell, at least a couple of them. And so if you look at it, we bought, what did we buy? We bought 5, 4, 3, we bought 7 pepper plus 5, we bought 12 pepper. And we paid like 1 gold for all 12 of those pepper. If we list 12 pepper, and we list them for a gold, and we sell 1 of the pepper, we made money. We profited 11 pepper if we just sell 1. If we sell 2, we profited a whole bunch of money, and we got a lot of extra pepper. Very, very simple, very, very basic stuff. So let's see, do we have any cactus on us? Doesn't look like we have any cactus. I know I have cactus on another character, so I'm going to go ahead and list cactus for like a gold or 2 gold and see, since there's nobody selling cactus, it's a great time to sell cactus. It's not just these things that are in demand. You got to check other things. So I found out Moringa fruit was also like very light, and there was hardly any sellers. So they're selling for 55 or so silver. And when you're doing this, you don't want to list like 500 of them. You want to list bunches of like 10, 25, 20, like small amounts, because in case someone undercuts you, then you lose your listing fee. It's not a big deal, but when you list 500, so here we go. We have 1,000. We're going to list 1,000 quina. If we list 1,000 quina, it's going to cost us 3 gold, 70 silver. That's not a ton, but that's just a waste. Like, we know no one is going to buy 1,000 quina. And if someone undercuts us, they're definitely not going to buy our quina. At that point, we just want to list like 15, 20. List a small amount. And that way your item will sell. And then if it sells, you know you can go ahead and list more of it. Alright guys, so hopefully that helped you out there and some good money making tips. But these are all very, very basic stuff. Like, it's just covering the basics of going back. There's nothing secret in Archeage really anymore. It's just checking stocks of items, doing, basic things that other people aren't doing, because people, they slack off, they don't do it, they forget, they get lazy. Like Cactus. Cactus, there's literally no cactus on the auction house. Now there's some. And look, this guy put it up for 3 gold each. We can look at the sale history now on Cactus, and we can see that Cactus does sell, and Cactus has sold for 1 gold each. So remember earlier when I was saying, hey, we can list it for 2 gold? That seems to be a little excess. No one has ever bought Cactus for 2 gold in the last 2 weeks. The highest price anyone has ever paid for Cactus in the last 2 weeks is 1 gold. So that's kind of like the price point that people might pay. If you list it for 2 gold, most likely they're not going to pay it, because they're like, hey, that's overpriced. No one's bought a Cactus for 2 gold. It's just too much. So if you do it for like 99 silver, you might get a lot more sales than if you did 2 gold, even if you're all by yourself. Like, I don't mind what this guy did at all. He listed it for 3 gold. He saw an opportunity. There's no Cactus on the market. He's trying to make money. You got to use a little bit of common sense, though, and realize that no one has bought Cactus for 3 gold. So unless someone is incredibly desperate for Cactus, they're not going to buy it for 3 gold. And you have to figure in what people actually need Cactus for. So if you open up the folio, you can type in materials and you can type in Cactus. And you can see the only thing that people need Cactus for is the soft stem pigment. And then also rainbow polish. Those two things require a lot of Cactus. They require 50 and 40. So they're not buying 1 or 2 cactuses generally. They're going to be buying 40 or 50 at a time. The only other thing that's not listed here in the folio is the quest. We do know that you need 5 cactus for the quest, but most people are done with that. So generally, when someone's going to be buying Cactus, they're going to be trying to buy 40 or 50 of them at a time. So you're safe to put down 40 or 50 Cactus at a time and put them at, like, we've seen that people buy them at 1 gold, so you can put them at 1 gold. I don't really like putting them at 3 gold because most likely, again, you're going to lose your listing fee. And yes, it's not that much, but every little penny adds up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Make sure that you do the cargo dailies and get that Onyx money as it's hot right now. It should stay up there. A lot of items now in Archeage Unchained at this stage of the life of the server are going to be needed Onyx Archeum Exons. So the prices should stay up there around that 3 to 4 gold.